What's up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Toy Room Renovation right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Albert Albanese. This is the Slam Sessions Network right here on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us again this week for this show. So as you guys know, the normal way that this works is that I kind of give you a little brief introduction about what I've done, and then I kind of talk about some of the stuff that I've gotten, and then I kind of give you an update on things that happened. So, normally I save the updates for the end, but we're just going to do this really quick in the beginning because, unfortunately, things happen, and I think it's just the easiest way to do it is that this shelf right here, which is the currently not on the WWE roster women's shelf, kind of fell over. As you can see, Mae Young's in the middle, and she's missing a crown. I haven't even found that yet, so not fun coming up here and seeing things falling down, but, got to do my best at this point, just kind of pick things up and keep going. So with that being said, that kind of cut into a little bit of the amount of work I was able to do today. So we'll see how much I am able to get done. But of course, before we do anything, let's go into what's new in my collection this week. All right, so in terms of purchases, to start things off this week, I ordered a couple of things off of eBay last week, if you guys remember. I talked about how I needed certain figures for my Hall of Champions collection. So these guys are going to slip right in there. That's Randy Orton on the left. Super cool. He's got the Viper hoodie on the back. So this is more of a current Orton, but it'll suit the needs for what I need for that championship run right there. Orton doesn't change a whole heck of a lot, so I think I can kind of get a little bit more fun with how I use him in my display. The other one here is Dolph Ziggler. Now, from a distance, it seems like, there's a couple of little scratches on him and a couple of little dings on him, and he doesn't look too bad. But as we get closer here, you can see on his face, he's kind of got like a thing in the middle of his head, on his chest, on his arms. His gear is a little dinged up. So I didn't do my research, and I bought this for a pretty cheap price. I'm going to try to clean it up and see if I can get some of the major stuff gone, but the wear isn't going to go away. So as of right now, this is going to be a placeholder for me until I get a better version of an older Dolph Ziggler, and then I'll replace him in the Hall of Champions collection with that figure once I get it. And my other purchase this week is the Series 102 Elite Gunther. As you can see, he's got his robe and some alternate hands. Let's take a look at the back of the box. There we go. From Vienna, Austria. Let's see, the ring general is the epitome of efficiency and elegance inside the ring, decimating his opponents with tactical brutality. This is a really good series. As you saw, I told you guys I have that Mick Foley. I have the Gunther now and the Edge. And I'm probably going to end up grabbing that Rhea Ripley. As you'll see later on, there's a little bit of a teaser there in the corner with Edge laying over there. Edge is going to go up on that Judgment Day shelf with everyone else. I'm just going to put every member of it there. This is his Judgment Day gear anyway, so that Rhea will probably go well. But this Gunther, let me tell you, this is perfect. The other one that we got, which was Walter, technically, was a little bit thicker, which made sense. And now that Gunther has trimmed down, this figure looks awesome. I can't wait to unbox him, put him up into the shelf where he belongs with everybody else, but that's a project in itself. Everybody's going to come off of the WWE. That's going to be a project within itself. Everything's got to come off that WWE shelf. The new rosters have to be put into place, so that might be something I do next week, actually. I might be taking a day off next week, and I might spend some time here doing some work, so we'll see. But that's my purchases for this week. This Gunther is by far one of the coolest figures I've gotten in a while. All right, so like I said earlier, I thought that I wasn't going to have many changes done today because I didn't think I was going to have enough time. However, I actually did some stuff, so let's take a look at what I've done so far. Okay, so very briefly, I added Edge to the Judgment Day shelf with Damian Priest. I mentioned that I was probably going to do that earlier. I'm going to have all 5 members of Judgment Day on there at one point. So yeah, that'll be the Judgment Day shelf, and Jey Uso's still chilling over here because he'll be joined by his brother Jimmy and the rest of the Bloodline, so I can have a Bloodline shelf up there. All right, and next there's a little bit of a restructuring that I have on my desk. So as you can see, I have my Macho Man display over here. So I added that mint on card Macho, this one right ahead here, into the display instead of kind of just have them off to the side. And I also opened that Superstars Macho Man. I put him on display with everyone else. So all my machos are there, but this also gives me a really great place to display my autographed Defining Moments Bret Hitman Hart. I really wanted this piece to be front and center in my collection. It's probably my most prized piece that I have, so I wanted it to be in a good spot. And where I had it before wasn't really great, and I think I might have an idea of what I want to do with that, and I might be able to get to that next week. But this really showcases this Bret the way it should. As you can see, I'm still in the process of doing some other things here, but I might be considering taking a bunch of Brets off that shelf maybe, or maybe some other Brets and putting them in here, kind of like I did with the Machos over here. But we'll see. It depends on spacing and how I feel that this works and what other things I can kind of put up here that'll be pretty good. So that's what my... All right, so if you were thinking, well, Albert, if you put that stuff there was other stuff that was there before. Where did that go? Well, I'm proud to say that as of right now, I have these guys all kind of just chilling on this shelf right now, just for right now, because I'm not 100% sure I want to put them, because I put the Firefly Funhouse up here. So you can see it's all the members of the Firefly Funhouse all popping out, all the puppets, all the people who were mainstays in that story, Burnt Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, as you can see right there in the back, Alexa Bliss, and of course Firefly Funhouse Bray. So I moved this over here because I think it actually fits better and it kind of works. I put the New Day WWE crate exclusive from the first WWE crate over here next to it. That's probably not going to stay. I just needed to get that off the shelf where it was. And I'll show you why in a couple of minutes. But I like the way this looks. It looks really badass up here. And I'm glad I kind of figured out that if I move it over here, it'll be a little bit better. So I mentioned right before that I moved that New Day Funko Pop, which was actually right there. But as you can see, it's not there anymore next to the Undisputed Era, because eventually that Undisputed Era is going to have to move too, because I started redoing my Major Wrestling Figure podcast shelves. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys remember what it looked like from the first episode, but it's been through quite a change, especially this top shelf here. So I have all the ringside exclusives up there for the most part, and then the rest of them will kind of be integrated onto the second and third shelves. But I really did redo the second shelf, and it looks really good. So I have the big rubber guys, the micro brawlers, the old school Hawkins and Ryder on the left. Behind a lot of these things are other major pod things. There's some pins here on the left-hand side, right around there. There's an autographed Broski picture right around there. So there's a bunch of things that are back here. There's another autographed pin back here, in between the big rubber guys. So it's looking pretty cool so far. As you can obviously see, though, it's a work in progress because this third shelf really hasn't been touched much. That's the next one I'm going to do. I have all of those guys to put there. I still have a bunch of these to put out, these micro brawlers, which came in the cart. This is a Danhausen one, which I just count him as a part of the Major Pod family at this time. I also recently just got in this Smart Mark Sterling bundle, so he has his own pen, his pad, and a super badass tie. So I'm going to figure out a way to display all those, you know, kind of like with his sex socks over there. But all this stuff still has to go up there. And not only just that, all of these have to go up there too. So as you can see, I've kind of just put things to the side right now because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to get to this for the rest of the day. But as of right now, these shelves are coming along pretty damn well, and I'm kind of happy with the progress that I'm making. I can't wait to kind of finish things out. And last but not least, I realized that I needed a specific Chris Jericho to put into my Hall of Champions shelf, so he's somewhere over there. So I had a little spot, so I put the Corazon de Leon AEW Luminaries exclusive onto my Wall of Jericho. So I think he looks pretty badass there with everybody else. Festival Friendship, obviously. Mostly WWE Chris Jericho. And then AEW Chris Jericho up on top. So I think he looks badass there. This really adds like a lot to the display. I think I actually might hang up my other exclusive right underneath here to kind of keep with the motif and fill in that little space. But yeah, as of right now, I love the way this Jericho looks into the display. Well, I am once again a sweaty mess up here and physically dying, but the good news is that I got a lot done this week, as you can see. So a lot of positive things, steps in the right direction right now. The idea now next week is to continue on the major pod shelf and then also maybe to hang up that Jericho and to work a little bit more on figuring out how I can dismantle one of those shelves and do a little bit more with that. But with that being said, that brings an end to another episode of the Toy Room Renovation right here on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, comment. Tell me about your collections. I'd love to hear more about what you guys collect. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.